Okay, and I think we are live. Yeah, this is my first live podcast. Let's just wait for a minute for the guest to arrive. She'll be arriving anytime soon. So, folks, welcome to the Labyrinth. This is our very first live podcast. My guest today is Deepti Pinniti. She is a journalist who is investigating into the deaths of Sushant Singh Rajput and Sridevi. I think she's here.
Oh, hello,
Hi,
Pratham.
hi, Deepti.
I never knew that it was a video show. I thought it was a podcast audio.
No, it's a video actually.
Uh,
Yeah.
I was not prepared for that actually.
Okay.
If you can just give me 5 minutes, I'll be ready and come back
Sure, sure.
with the
Yeah, no
video.
problem. Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
thank you.
Okay. All right. So Deepti will be taking 5 minutes. Until then, I'll give you a slight background of what this podcast episode is going to be about. So, for those of you who don't know, Deepti Pinnati is an investigative journalist. She has been looking into the deaths, into the mysterious deaths of. Firstly, she went into the mysterious death of Sridevi, and then in the more recent years, she started looking into the deaths of individuals like Sushant Singh Rajput, his ex-manager Disha Salian, and so on. So, in my previous podcast, I had my friend Johan Tengra as the guest, and it was he who told me to check out the works of Deepti Pinnati. And I did watch a lot of her videos, and I thought, hey, this is a very interesting woman. I need to get her on the podcast, and therefore, that's why she's here, and that's why I invited her. And please drop all of your questions in the comment section. I will be reading all of your comments, and if you have any questions that you would want me to ask Deepti, or if you have any questions for me or Deepti, please drop them on the comment section. You can do that since this is a live stream. And as always, if you find this podcast useful, do like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you can get all the notifications about the labyrinth. And you can ask your questions on live chat. Don't forget to do that. That's the unique thing that you can do on this episode only. All right. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes. Let's wait for people to join the live chat as well. Okay, let me just check how this looks on YouTube. I want to see if I'm actually live. Oh yeah. All right, so this is how I look on YouTube. That's very interesting because I've never done a live before. So whoever is live, please drop your questions. I am really looking forward to read your questions because I've never done this before. All right. She must be joining any time now. So, what do you guys think about this whole deaths of individuals in Bollywood like Sushant Singh Rajput or Jiah Khan or Disha Salian or Divya Bharti or Sridevi or Parveen Babi? I'll be asking questions about all these individuals to Deepti as the episode progresses. I hope she joins as soon as possible. Just give me 1 minute. All right, I'll be right back. Guys, just give me 2 minutes. All right, she'll be taking 2 more minutes, is what she said. Really sorry for the delay. I guess things like these happen when you're doing a live. So one of the issues with doing a live podcast is that you can't edit out any of the mistakes, which is why I usually prefer recorded podcasts. But here we are, going on a live podcast. Man, it's like real life. You can't go back in time. You can't correct anything. You can't edit anything. If you screw up, you screw up. Oh, right. And don't have to worry, guys. If something goes wrong with this live, I'll try to edit this live so that I can put shorter edited clips on YouTube as well, so that I can get rid of this whole section where I'm making some of you guys wait for no reason. So I'll put an edited episode as well, so that those of you who want to watch this podcast without this whole waiting period can do that as well. All right, guys, let's just wait for 2 more minutes. And if she doesn't show up, I think I'll have to wrap this. I'll have to cancel this live because because I'm a little tired of waiting at this point. So let's just see if she shows up in 2 minutes, and if it doesn't, we just have to cancel it or postpone this podcast. This is one of the problems with the live podcast, and that's the reason why I never do live podcasts. Okay, yeah, it's 10:15. God.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Pratham. I'm so sorry for all the delay. There was slight misunderstanding. I thought this was a podcast of audio only, so I was not ready with the setup and all.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. So let's begin. So welcome to the Labyrinth, first of all,
Thank
and
you. Thank you
okay,
so much for having me here on your platform.
okay. So I want to start by asking, what motivated you to start investigating into the deaths of Sridevi and Sushant Singh Rajput?
Uh, Sridevi ji died in February 2018, and I was a huge fan of hers since my childhood. I had even met her in 2017 September. I went to her house in Green Acres. I met her and Boni Kapoor because one of my friends in Uttar Pradesh wanted to organize a fashion fest and invite her as the guest of honor. So, since I had contacts with Boniji's manager, Sunil Malhotra, whose nickname is Babu, okay, so we contacted them and I facilitated the meeting between the organizers and Sridevi ji. I was also there at the present at the meeting. I have shared the pics where I am with Sridevi ji, Boni Kapoor in their house all over on my social media accounts. Uh, so in 2018 February, unfortunately that show didn't happen because demonetization happened and many of the sponsors who were mostly jewelers and real estate people, they pulled back at the last moment due to demonetization. So the show didn't happen. Uh, and suddenly we get to hear that in February she died in Dubai.
Okay.
Okay, so the way the news came out and the reports that I was getting from my ground contacts in Dubai, there was a lot of difference in what was being reported in the media because the people who were there in Dubai and who were, who were hovering around the place where Sridevi died, they were giving out reports that the body had injury marks when it was being taken out of the hospital, hotel into the this thing. And also that Sridevi ji was not heard or seen for 2 days prior to her death. Apparently,
Okay.
Bonnie leaves her and goes to India, and after that, no one has seen her, neither no one has heard her. These are the reports that came out in the media. And another report which came out was after a few days, Sridevi ji's sister, Srilata, she issued a veiled threat on the media that very soon she is going to come out and tell the truth of what happened. But then she also becomes silent later on. So all these things actually, because since I am a C certificate holder in NCC, I have contacts in defense and I have some contacts with defense intelligence people as well. So so I wanted to find out the truth because things were not matching up. The way the media was initially, it came out that Sridevi had died of heart attack, with her brother-in-law Sanjay Kapoor even issuing a statement that it's a shock for us. She never had any history of heart illness or heart disease or something and all. Okay, but after 2 days, it suddenly turned into a case of accidental drowning when the case was transferred from Dubai police to Dubai public prosecutor. The Dubai police was conducting hearing of Boni Kapoor. He was grilled for 8 hours. For 2 days, there was no news about when the body was going to be released, if there was any foul play or not, if it was indeed a cardiac arrest. Finally, after 2 days, the case gets transferred to the public prosecutor of Dubai and they give out a verdict in a report which doesn't seem to be a post-mortem report at all, in a piece of paper saying that it is accidental drowning. The death was due to accidental drowning. So a lot of things here didn't click, didn't make sense. Firstly, a post-mortem report never says accidental drowning. It can only give the cause of death as drowning, right? For
Okay.
it is up to the investigating agencies to tell whether it was accidental or it was a conspiracy. So the report itself was a big bluff. Okay, and so what happened when I did further inquiries from my contacts, ground contacts in Dubai, and they were saying that no, whatever is being shown in the media has got nothing to do with what is happening here. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk of foul play. So that was when why I contacted. I mean, I used my contacts in defense intelligence to find out the truth. I sent a team I mean, I used I spent my own finances. I sent a team of private investigators which consisted of some defense intelligence officials as well. They went to Dubai. They did their inquiries. They got the original post-mortem report and document for records from Dubai Health Authority, DHA. Okay, because everything in Dubai is computerized. I mean, especially the medical sciences field, the hospitals, all are stored in a central database. Everything related to the health industry of the Dubai, that is Dubai Health Authority. So we got it from there. We got some proofs in the form of some hotel staff, and we got some proofs in the form of the doctors who had performed the post-mortem report on Sridevi ji. So we have some eyewitnesses, we have some proofs. We got all of them together, and we filed a petition in the court. Since my team had people from Indian Defense Intelligence, this exercise happened with the knowledge of our NSA, of our then Army Chief General Bipin Rawat ji, of our president as well. I have shared the president's letter widely on the social media as well. We were given a meeting in the month of September or October 2018 to meet the president regarding Sridevi's death. But at that point of time, the president's secretary, Mr. Sanjay Kotaria, okay, he played foul, and he saw to it that the meeting never happened. From then on, we contacted many people because I went through an indirect route. I didn't go as a common man with no contacts. I went through my contacts of defense intelligence. We kept everyone informed of what we were doing. And then we filed, and it was our NSA, Mr. Dovalji only, who gave his own personal lawyer, Mr. Shyam Jindal, to file the petition. Because death of Sridevi ji was not due to some personal reason or what, not due to laying hands on insurance money by her husband or something. It involved a deeper picture. If we remember Pratham ji, many people, one ACP Ved Bhushan, one politician Sunil Singh, Sunil Singh had also filed petition. Sunil Singh was in Dubai at the time of Sridevi ji's death. So he had also filed petition in the court. And he, along with his lawyer Avasti, he came to Bhubaneswar to meet me when I told him that I have the original records, because he wanted his case to stand in the court. He came to Bhubaneswar. He met me in Hotel Trident. We had a discussion. I showed him the original report which I had. He asked me, how did you manage to lay your hands on? We tried so much, we didn't. How did you? I somehow but I cannot hand it over to you because I don't know what pressures you will face, what if you will compromise early, if you'll give in to the pressures or not. Okay. So if I have to present the proofs, then I will myself come and present. Then he said, not a problem. I will make you as one of the co-petitioners of the case. You can come and all that. So after that, I don't know what happened. That also didn't go through. Ved Bhushan ji, he had also done investigation. He is an ex-ACP. He also went to Dubai with his team. He did some investigations. He did a press conference after coming from Dubai, saying that this death is a murder and it involves a lot of nexus between the politicians, the underworld don, and everyone, because the hotel Jumeirah Emirates, where Sridevi ji was killed, this is not the hotel where the wedding took place, for which the Kapoor Khandan and the Ambani Khandan went to Dubai. The wedding was between Kapoors and Ambanis.
Okay.
And this wedding was in Ras Al Khaimah. Okay. So what happened? What our investigation, when we did the entire investigation, we pulled out the post-mortem reports and all. It showed that Sridevi ji was injected mamushi poison. Mamushi is a Japanese snake. She was injected mamushi poison 130 hours prior to her death. And the date and time of her death in her original post-mortem report is mentioned as 6:30 p.m. Dubai time 23rd of February and not 24th of February as reported in the media. So in that report also, it is clearly written that she was injected mamushi poison 130 hours prior to her death. That means roughly some 5 days prior to her death. Now, if we match everything, so initially what our investigation shows, she was injected mamushi poison along with milk solids so that it couldn't be found out or something, or it can delay the reaction of the thing. So this mamushi poison, how it acts, it slowly causes internal organ failure. The effects of the toxin are such that it causes internal organ failure. So what was expected was that, and also I don't usually take the statements given by politicians or celebrities seriously in the media, but Preeti Reddy, I think, the daughter of Subiram Reddy.
Okay.
Daughter of T. Subiram Reddy, I think her name is some Reddy. She is a very good friend of Sridevi, apparently, because a lot of friends came out in the media saying that they are friends of Sridevi, they were close to Sridevi after she died. So we can never say if that was true or not. When a person is not there to defend themselves, and when suddenly after that so many people come saying that we are her friends, she had told this to us, so told that to us, so we should take it with a pinch of salt. We don't know whether they are coming with an agenda, if they are coming to spread a narrative. We don't know that, right?
Okay.
So she had given a statement in the media that she was not feeling well. She was suffering from fever. She didn't want to go to Dubai, but she had to go to Dubai because of family obligations and all. So keeping all this in mind, what our investigations concluded was that after she was injected poison, that mamushi poison, in Mumbai, she was injected the poison in Mumbai because we could actually retrieve from where the poison was procured and who was the one who administered it to her. I'm sorry, I cannot tell it online right now. I haven't shared these details with the public yet. So, and she was expected to die dancing in the wedding. That was the reason her last video was made solely focusing on her. Okay. So they thought that due to gradual organ failure, she will die, her heart will give away and she will die dancing in the wedding. But unfortunately, God had other plans. She might have been too fit for their calculations. She didn't collapse in the wedding. So what they had to do, now the wedding is over. They had no more reason or excuse to stay back in Castle Khema. So they take Sridevi to some 150 or 200 kilometers far away place to Jumeirah Emirates. They check in there, and Boni, Khushi, Manish Malhotra, they all come back to India, saying that she wanted to stay there alone, okay, which didn't make sense. And then after that, for 2 days, neither the hotel staff nor anyone, no one saw her, no one heard her. She didn't contact the room service even once. These reports are widely there in the media as well. So all these things led me to do my own investigation. And like everyone before Sushant's death, I too also believe that our government, our agencies are there to protect us, are there to, take care of us. Our welfare is their priority and blah, blah. I also used to believe all that thing. But Sridevi's investigation into Sridevi's death was an eye-opening experience for me. The circus that people are seeing in Sushant's death, the circus being played out by the media, the circus being played out by the investigation agencies, the circus being played out by the political parties, I have had first-hand experience of it while I wanted to bring justice to Sridevi ji. So after all this happened, after we collected the proofs and everything, we submitted our petition in the Supreme Court of India with the help of the lawyer provided to us by our NSA, Shri Ajit Dovalji. So the lawyer Shyam Jindal, he filed the petition in the Supreme Court, and the proofs that we presented were so strong. Pratham, let me tell you that any case getting accepted as a criminal petition is very difficult. Okay. Unless and until there are no tangible proofs, it will not be even entertained as a criminal petition. But the proofs we submitted in the Supreme Court were so strong that it got accepted as a criminal petition. We were also given the number. All right. And for some days, it also showed in the Supreme Court of India as that the case was diarized. It was, they say, in the movies we see Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq. So I was not even given the hearing. Okay, my dates kept shifting. So initially, we used to get the dates, and but the hearing never used to happen. And one more thing I want to bring to the notice of all the people around here is that everything was new for me at that point of time. So when my lawyer was coming and saying that no, Supreme Court will be closed for Ganesh Puja, no, Supreme Court will be closed for Christmas celebrations, no, Supreme Court is closed today, I used to feel that, is it a Supreme Court or what is it? How can Supreme Court be closed for so many years of the? But the fact is that that is the truth. In spite of so many cases pending since years, since decades, the judges of our Supreme Courts enjoys the most holidays, which not even the private institutions or any government institution enjoys. That is the seriousness our judiciary has about maintaining justice in the society or clearing the backlog of those lakhs of cases that are there.
Okay. So that's very sad. The Supreme Court is delaying your case, but you had earlier
No, it's
mentioned
not
that you
about.
can't.
No, it's not about delaying the case or something. Okay, it never gave me any hearing. Okay, a lot of foul play was played. Okay, and let me tell you, Pratham, this is not the first time that I am telling about what happened with Sridevi's case when it was with Supreme Court of India. I am telling it. I probably for the 7th or the 8th time on social media. If there was any lie in what I am saying, I would have been booked for contempt of court immediately. When a stand-up comedian is not let unpunished for one comment, here I am saying that the Supreme Court of India played foul with a case which had concrete proofs. And that too, the case of a celebrity, a Padma Shri, like Sridevi ji. Okay. And the kind of manipulations that happened in Supreme Court of India, let me tell you. Summons were issued by the court. Roughly around 13 summons or so, or 9 summons or so were issued by the court. But none of the summons ever reached me. In the Supreme Court's register, the destination field was always empty. That means the receiver confirmation was never there. So here we are talking about the nexus, which was mentioned in 1993 report of Vohra Committee, which has still not been acted upon by now. This nexus between the bureaucrats, government officials, lawmaking agencies, and judiciary, media, this nexus, this Vohra Committee, which had prepared a report of so many pages, like thousands of pages in 1993, exposing this nexus. But naturally, since the politicians do not want it to be changed, no one acted upon it. And recently in 2022 or 21, I'm not sure, earlier saying that why is the Vohra Committee findings not been investigated upon? Why are they not being investigated upon? They are so very relevant to whatever crimes are being happening now. And the Supreme Court of India, it just dismissed the petition saying that it is only for the sake of publicity. There is no matter in that. All right.
Okay.
So a lot of things are happening. And a lot of new news are coming. Breaking news are coming. We are letting go of the old news. So nothing comes to a conclusion here. And let me tell you, here's whatever we are seeing in the mainstream media. This politician is fighting with the other politician. This religion is fighting with the other religion, and all that. These are all being enacted on the mainstream media to further an agenda of the people who are funding the channels. Mainstream media channels have long deviated from the path of the truth. Now they have become like the brokers or dalals of whoever is funding them. They will just show their narrative and brainwash the people. And the only aim of reason for doing this is that they do not want people to get awakened about the truth. They do not want people to know the reality. They do not want people to get awakened. They do not want people to get united against the evil. That's why they keep them confused. That's why they keep them fighting amongst each other on issues which don't matter. And in all this process, ये जो mainstream media का चमक दमक है, the glitz and glamour of the mainstream media, the gullible people are brainstormed and they are confused whom to believe, to this to believe or to them to believe. So now nothing comes to conclusion. This is a carefully managed, this is not a circus being carried out. This is a carefully managed step by the Nexus to keep the people confused and engaged in matters which actually don't matter. I will tell you here one thing, because when Sushant's case was picking heat, something came up in the news. Vajay, Ambani, death threat, blah, blah. What happened to that? Now even Vajay is going to be reinstated.
Okay.
So many news were brought up at that point of time to take away attention from Sushant's case so that it doesn't grow up into a movement which they cannot control. And
Okay.
even yeah. Yes, please,
So,
you tell me.
yeah, so, going back to this whole Sridevi's case, you said that you can't mention the exact names of the people who administered the poison yet. But can we know the
Because
more?
I will tell you,
Okay.
there are people from the film industry who have helped us with informations. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to. So if I tell something on the social media and it doesn't come to a conclusion immediately, then I stand at the risk of placing the lives of those people in danger.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Because before you can hunt from where I got the info, they will know. By
Okay.
the time you people keep debating between yourselves whether to believe her, whether she is credible or not, they know that what she is saying is true. So they will start hunting from which source this news went out to her. And then I will be risking the name of the people who trusted me and gave me the infos. That's
Okay.
why there are certain things that I cannot say openly on the public media in the interest of the people who have shown courage to tell the truth, to come forward and tell the truth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Obviously your strategy is very well thought of, but is it possible for us to know the motive behind Sri Devi's death? Because some people were saying there's some insurance money involved, but I don't think you believe that, right? So what could be the real motive behind killing Sri Devi?
Okay, I will tell you this. Sridevi's killing was not planned over a night or over a year. Okay, in 2016 December, that's around the time of demonetization, I think. In 2016 December, this information also came out in the news. Srideviji's and Boni's house in Mumbai caught fire. The ground floor caught fire. Okay, so what happened was that was the point, our investigations say that was the point when Sridevi got suspicions about Boni Kapoor and his activities. Because immediately after demonetization, Boni started getting desperate for money, for cash. Okay. And and he had informed Sridevi to vacate ground floor and move to the first or second floor that day before, when the house caught fire. So the fire was set to claim the insurance. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Am I
I can
clear?
hear
Yeah, yeah,
you. Yes,
okay,
yes.
fine. So then she started getting suspicious. Then she started doing her own investigations, this and that and everything. All right. So then she came to know about her husband's involvement in women trafficking, her husband's involvement in money laundering to cricket betting and all. Okay. And many other crimes which Bollywood is involved in. Okay. See, Bollywood is involved in many other crimes, but it never gets punished because they are protected by the politicians, the people in power. Because ultimately this women trafficking and all, they supply the women to politicians. The black money laundering and all, movies are used, IPL is used and cricket is used to launder the money in big amounts. So no cricketer or no film industry person will ever go to jail if they continue doing what they are being told to do. Right. So it's not that in Sushant's case, everyone is confused. Does Ria have so much money? Does Sushant's killers have so much money that they have brought even the Prime Minister, even the CBI, even the and President, everyone, all the media channels? No. That means in Sushant's mother, it's not just the cover-up which is being done by the mainstream media or by the agencies or by the judiciary. It means all are equally involved for reasons which the people are yet to know. I also couldn't believe that here, when we were investigating Sridevi's death, okay, we came across two terrorist confessions, same relation. And this is also mentioned in the president's letter, which I have shared on Twitter. Terrorist confession mentioning about an assassination attempt on Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Okay. So our investigation reports show that Sridevi ji contacted one high office in Delhi. Okay. And she wanted to report about this assassination attempt on Prime Minister Modi ji. And she was asked, she was told categorically that she is an actress. She is concentrate on her job of acting. She should not poke her nose into matters of national interest.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So so I have deviated. Now let me come back again. So I was telling about Sridevi ji's motive for killing Sridevi ji. Right.
Yeah.
So in 2016 this happened. Okay. So then she did her investigations and she came to know about her husband's involvement in all these illegal activities. So she wanted to, there was one officer by the name of Colonel Gill, okay, who was with us, who was one of the petitioners when we had filed the criminal petition in Supreme Court of India. Okay. He is no more alive. That's a different matter. So she had called and she had his contact, I think, from army shooter. I'm not sure, but she called him and she informed him about her husband's all illegal activities. All right. I don't know what happened after that because she didn't contact them for many days. And again, later after a few days when Gill sir contacted them, she told that no, he has promised to mend his ways. I think I should give him a chance. I don't want to go ahead with the complaint right now. Okay, I think I will give him a chance. He has accepted that he will rectify himself. So that happened, and there was no activity, and then suddenly in 2018 we hear about her death.
Okay.
So the thing here is that Boni Kapoor has been involved in many crimes. There was a death of one Thakkar in Pune, and Boni Kapoor was called for investigation. That matter never made it big in the news, but it is there in the news. Okay, so this is connected to Thakkar scam. Thakkar scam, which no one talks about. Just Google it. You will find hardly few informations because it has not been investigated upon. Thakkar scam. All right.
Okay.
So the reason for killing, so later, I mean, like in 2019 or 2018, the policy was, sorry, not 2018, 2018, in 2016 or 2017, in 2017, that policy was taken, the insurance policy. And we also have the copy of the insurance, that particular insurance policy everyone is talking about. And it is also one of the things that we have submitted in the Supreme Court of India as the proof. In that policy, it is clearly written that if the death happens in UAE, in Dubai, okay, then 10% of the face value will be paid more. It was not as if the death will be, whatever the condition is being circulated in the media that the insurance money will be paid only if the death happens in media, that is not entirely true. The clause which is mentioned in her insurance papers is that if the death happens in Dubai, then 10% face value of the face value extra will be paid. I can read that if I had brought the reports and all. So I think the plan was that if she can be manipulated, they would have continued to manipulate her. But if she had insisted on Boni mending his ways or going to the police, then they would have, maybe they had made prior plans to kill her over there only.
Okay.
So it is not just the insurance thing. It's not just the insurance thing. It's insurance plus, see, if it had only been the insurance thing, at least one honest person or one honest officer, one honest agency would have come up. But if the entire system is in the country, including all the 4 pillars of the democracy, are out there protecting the criminal, burying the news of her death, then you should understand from where the protection is coming from. And why are they protecting this criminal? That means they were afraid that if the truth about Sridevi's death came out or murder came out, and if it was to be investigated properly, then it would have exposed between the actors, the politicians, the agencies, and everything. This is also the reason Sushant was killed. But unfortunately for them, Sushant did what no one else before him did. He documented everything.
Okay.
He documented everything in a way it cannot be destroyed digitally. He used some softwares, he used some interfaces, some platforms. He knows coding, right? So he made it so robust and so encrypted that it is impossible to destroy his work. And what he wrote in his drives is that he did so after his physical documents and diary were burnt and destroyed. So,
Okay,
how did I come into Sushant's drives and all from Sridevi's case, right? So we were investigating Sridevi's case. So naturally, we are getting infos from within the industry only from her case.
Okay.
Because she is from that field. And Sushant is also from that field. So we had contacts from inside the industry as well. So that's why how we got to know that there was one copy of drives that some Falana was carrying, and it is on the verge to cross the border or something. So I will not go into details of who that person was, because see, even if I say, people will, another 2-3 YouTubers who are not actually SSR warriors but have been planted as SSR warriors to keep the people confused. Okay. So even if I say something now, they will come and make hours and hours of video saying she did that. Unless and until I can tell the whole truth, it won't sound plausible. And taking advantage of this fact that I cannot tell the whole truth online, they are coming with my, see, they came saying that Sushant is very good in English. There are grammatical mistakes in these diaries. Sushant doesn't write his name as Sushant. Deepti is South Indian, so she is writing TH. It is her as blah blah. And what all shit they came and crap they have made videos about. But let me tell you, this software and this interface that he has used, sometimes he used to type it himself. There were other users as well. Disha Salian was one of the users. Okay. Sharman Joshi was one of the users. Tiger Shroff was one of the users. These are the people who had access to Sushant's drive to them. Okay. So sometimes it was, the entries were made from Disha's user account, which some entries. And sometimes it was dictated. They used the dictation software to document it. Voice to text, audio to text. So they have used many different ways. So what I'm trying to say here is that why I jumped. See, I was not interested in, I was not following Sushant. I was not his fan. I was not even following his death. Because when Sushant died in June 2020, at that point of time, I was totally into Sridevi's case. I was being harassed. Okay. Summons were not reaching me. And Sridevi's case, when I went and found out, I got doubts on my lawyer, Sham Jindal. I thought maybe he was playing foul, that's why I was not. So I contacted another lawyer and we did some research. And then I came to know that my case had gone into, what do you say that? Cold storage.
Okay.
Saying that the petitioner is not interested to fight the case. So we are diarising it. What I was being told was that the hearings were not happening because of some reason or other. But there, my lawyer, the Sham Jindal had submitted the petition saying that I was not well without asking me. So I was not able to attend one hearing. So then I came to know that a lot of fault was played by the lawyer as well. So then I submitted appeals asking for the change of lawyer. I contacted one advocate, Akash Kiran. Okay. He was the one who helped us get the case back on track. Saying that I was never informed about this, that, and okay. So from we again got it back on the track. But then again, after a few days, advocate Akash Kiran stopped responding. So it was then that I decided that no matter how many other lawyers I take, the pressure is so much that they will either get compromised or scared. So there is one clause in the Indian Constitution, Article 32B. Using that clause, Article 32B, I decided to fight her case myself. Anyone can do that. Even you can do that, Pratham. You don't need to have a degree in law to fight your own case. If no lawyer is fighting your case, then you can yourself go and fight your own case in the court.
Okay.
Article 32B of the Constitution, allows you to do that. So I decided to be my own lawyer. I had my legal help team, of course, Ajay Singh Talwar and all, but I decided to fight my own case. So a lot of things, a lot of stuff happened. We applied for fast tracking the case because summons were not reaching me. A lot of foul was being played and all. At that point of time, in February 2020, we even spoke with our Union Law Minister at that point of time, Ravi Shankar Prasad ji. He assured us that, we will help you, we will help put up the bench in Orissa. We will help put up the Supreme Court bench in Orissa. Bench is not something that you construct physically. Again, this point has been made fun of by the trollers to misguide the people. A bench is something which the Supreme Court appoints some judges to take care of the case and they sit in over a place. So Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, he assured me that he will set up a bench in Orissa as I was not getting the summons. Summons were not reaching me and they were, it was being played and all. But then in March 24, 2020, the lockdown happened. Everything went into lockdown. Courts also closed and everything, and a lot of things happened. And in August 2020, when things were coming back to normal, and we were, I was eager to, fight the case for Sridevi ji and all. I get to hear that it was Ravi Shankar Prasad ji himself who had filed an injunction. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
So, who had filed an injunction with the approval and knowledge of the Prime Minister's office, asking Supreme Court not to take up any hearings in Sridevi ji's case. Sridevi ji's case number was mentioned, along with two other case numbers were mentioned, in which direct instructions came from the Law Minister with approval and knowledge of Prime Minister's office that these three cases, no hearing should be given till further orders came. And then we filed an appeal in the court asking for the reason for this instruction to be given. On two dates, Ravi Shankar Prasad ji didn't appear in the court. On the third date, notice was issued from the Prime Minister's office, which I have shared on the Supreme Court, which I have shared on the Twitter widely, asking to excuse Ravi Shankar Prasad from appearing as he had other issues to attend to.
Okay.
So it was then. So since we had everything documented, the entire our filing of the petitions, their counters, our counters, and everything, we had a record of that. We had a file. So using that, I had some contacts in ICJ as well, International Court of Justice. So using that, there is one judge, Verghese Johnson, one of the judges in there. With his help, we filed a case against the Union of India
Okay.
for misappropriation, misappropriation of dates by the highest apex court of the country. So the case in ICJ was not about murder of Sridevi ji. The case in ICJ, which we filed, was about misappropriation by the Supreme Court, by the highest court of India. It was against Union of India. And even in ICJ, see, if the government of your country doesn't want a truth to come out, they have many resources at their disposal. They have the agencies. If they want to harass you, they can harass you, because I have been harassed.
Okay.
In the name of income tax raid, in the name of my bank transfers were sabotaged. So many of deals which I wanted to, my business deals which I wanted to end, they were sabotaged. So I have been hounded just for taking up Sridevi's case. I have been cornered. I'm still cornered. Now in ICJ, a government of India has more influence than a common person. Right? So in ICJ, they use their influences. They sent very big lawyers like Gopal Subramaniam and Subramaniam Swamy to represent them. Because what happens is that in ICJ or in Supreme Court of India, unless and until the first presentation happens, okay, it doesn't reflect on the website, on the court's website. The first presentation should happen. And here I was not being given the first presentation itself, because the court also knew the wrong proofs I had. There was no way that if a trial happened, then we could have lost. There was no way. And even in ICJ also doesn't accept any cases like that. After we filed the case, it sent its own team, one by Captain Sergeant Mark. I don't remember his full name. Under Sergeant Mark, they came to India. A team from ICJ came to India in 2000. We actually filed a case in ICJ in 2020, late October, November 2020. I have shared the ICJ's notifications regarding the case as well on Twitter.
Okay.
So in between that, a lot of internal developments were happening. We were filing certain things in ICJ, and counters were coming from the Union of India. And who was representing Union of India? At one time, Gopal Subramanian ji was representing. At one time, Subramanian Swamy represented. Okay, so there were many. There also they used their influence. First, the influence came from UK to stall the case, and then the influence came from US to not proceed with the case. So I believe the Indian government, using the influence of its office, has ensured that I am not given a hearing there as well, presentation there as well. So that is when I decided, and let me tell you here, if a case is in court, you cannot talk about it in public. Otherwise, you will be held for contempt of court. But I have taken legal remedies for that as well. That is the reason these people are not able to file any contempt case against me. In Supreme Court of India, I had filed an appeal saying that since you people have not been giving hearings, have not been following the procedures as they should be followed, I am going public with it.
Okay.
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 And even in the ICJ as well, there is an equivalent for it, lien of reciprocation. Okay, I filed that lien of reciprocation ICJ, stating that since the ICJ itself has issued notices to the media houses of India to cover the case, but none came forward. And since the ICJ itself is deviating from its prior notice that the presentation will be given out, because the team which was sent by ICJ, it went to Chennai, it went to Mumbai, it went to Dubai. It verified the documents which we had submitted. It verified the documents which we had submitted. And they were satisfied. And it also verified the bank accounts. Because in one of the terrorist confessions that we had submitted, there was a mention of one bank account. That the money came from Amar Singh's account to Boni Kapoor and Sridevi's joint account. From there, it went to terrorist account. So this, since it was also part of the proof that we had submitted, the ICA team also did investigation to the bank transfers, and they found that true. Yes, these bank transfers happened. And this ICC team which came to India, they were also harassed. They were not being given information by the bank officials, really. They were kept waiting and all. A lot of things happened, and then they used their highest officers and they got the things done. But ultimately, how much can a common man, just using their contacts, take on a government? If they use everything that is at their disposal, they have the postal services, they have the telecommunications, they have everything under their control. If they try to play fall from all angles, trying to take control of your devices, trying to take control of your networks, trying to take control of your life by following your movements day in and day out, your activities and everything. So naturally, you are cornered. You are not free to meet all the people that you want to meet. For the fear, see, we have already lost so many people in this fight. And even the people's names that you are listening, Sridevi ji, Sushant ji, they are just the tip of the iceberg. Because these are famous people. There are many other unsung martyrs who have laid their lives trying to show the truth to the people. No one knows about them because they are not famous people.
Okay. So, this
So,
whole. So, I want to say something. So, this whole Sushant Singh Rajput case, when it just came out in 2020, like you, even I was not very familiar with this actor or many of his movies. And when it was coming on the news during COVID, even I was not that interested. I was like, okay, what is going on? There's some people fighting outside some
same, it
apartments,
was
and
same
yeah.
with me.
Yeah, but then what happened is recently one of my friend Johan Tengra, who's in Mumbai, he is associated with Nilesh Oja, Advocate Nilesh Oja and Advocate Dipali Oja, and they're involved with this People's Court of India in Mumbai, and they were investigating into Sushant Singh Rajput's death. And I think you were also called for one of the
Yes,
hearings.
I gave my testimony. Yes,
Yeah,
I did give it
and
there.
and yeah, I think that's when I first became realized that there is something going on here, something worth seeing, something dangerous is going on. And then I started looking into your works, and I realized that lot of what you say makes sense. Do you sometimes feel that because you're putting out so much truth, that your life may also be at risk?
Of course, life is in danger. I don't contradict that. There are dangers, there are threats, uh, but fortunately, the way I came into this, backed by all legal documents and everything, because from the beginning itself, we went through a legal route. It was not like we were doing everything keeping the government in the know. See,
Okay.
because defense intelligence people are someone who are not usually known to the common public. Even if you know someone, you will not know that the person is working for the defense intelligence. Maybe, or he might be a sleeper cell of the mid department. You will never know. You will see many people around you coming to office, going like normal people and all. You will never know. So, but any operation or mission they take, they keep the NSA informed of their movements and everything. So everything was informed, the investigation that we were doing and everything. So I have been fortunate or blessed to say or something, but now in ICJ there was a clause that if there is a case in the court and if something happens to the petitioner or to their family or relatives, then by default the case goes to the petitioner. So that for some time that gave me some sort of protection against, because, and also I made it clear to the Nexus people that even I am the face. It's not that I am the only one who is doing it. A single person can never do it. I have had help from so many people. If I am taking such big names, and since 4 years if I'm continuing this fight, then funds are also required, finances are also required, and equal big contacts, big powerful names are also influence of big powerful names is also required. So many people have helped me in this journey. Unfortunately, I cannot take their name because of the fear of exposing them. See, Pratham, now the times. We cannot take the names of the people who are doing good things because they are doing good things hidden.
Okay.
They don't want their names to get exposed. So such are today's times that people don't want to come and tell the truth openly. I have received help from very big people, even funds, ICJ as well. ICJ, it takes considerable amount of money to file a case in ICJ for every filing and everything. So it's not, I have received help. Whenever I required help, I received help from unexpected quarters. And we have Her Excellency Joanne Donoghue, who is the present Chief Justice of ICJ. Okay. So there are people, I'm not saying there are people who have guided me, there are people who have helped me, but gradually they gave into pressures. That's a different thing. But it's not that I have been blessed or I have been lucky, I think, to be able to come and tell so much and still stay unharmed.
Okay.
And when all this was happening, I made sure that even if they want to kill me now, the very purpose for which they would like to kill me will be defeated. Because the truth will come out from some another angle which they will never be able to find out. Like Sushant's truth came out after his death. I have also ensured that if something happens to me, some deeper and bigger truths will come. So if they want to kill me now, it will prove counter this thing for them only.
Okay.
So I am taking calculated risks. Yeah, I'm taking calculated risks. I am proceeding with caution. In between all this, I have been tried to. There were many attempts to trap me in illegal deals, so that I could be booked by the economic office and swing. There were many attempts to trap me in cash deals where the cash was counterfeit or where it was banned, red marked by the EOW. Okay. So I am proceeding with a lot of caution. I am just waiting for the people of the country to wake up and realize what is happening, so that at least the sacrifices of all those people who died to awaken them so that there can be change for the better. Ultimately, that is achieved.
Okay. So, post Sushant's death, you got a lot of information through his drive, which you said
Exactly.
you said that even Disha Salian, Sharman Joshi, Tiger Shroff had access to this drive. Did these individuals, did Sharman Joshi or Tiger Shroff ever try to help you or help anyone to get to the truth, or are they also part of the cabal?
No, initially when we were decoding the drives and we were sharing them, okay, Tiger Shroff and Sharman Joshi did contact me, okay, and they were helping me because we were also like at a loss how to decode them, how to make the head and tail of the drives. Because it's not that you lay your hand on the drive, you open it and you can read it. There's a lot of encryption. You have to first bake that encryption, decode it, and then only the matter will appear. And this setting up of encryption was done by Sushant himself only. So only he knows how to break that encryption, not anyone else. So it was a lot of, I have a good IT team. That's why we took a lot of time. Even there was some like 7 hard drives and 1 pen drive. Okay. So initially, Tiger Shroff, Sharman Joshi, and Nawaz Siddiqui, they were helping me. I was stuck at some place. They did help me, but I think later on, something happened. They came to know that they were exposed. Sharman Joshi came to know that he was exposed as helping me or as helping Sushant. And then later, what happened after a few days, there was no contact between me and them. And after a few days, I came to know that the main link of Sushant's drives was compromised. This main link was only with Sushant, Tiger Shroff, Nawaz Siddiqui, and Sharman Joshi. These 3 were the part of Sushant's core team, which no one else knew. Okay. So after some days, I came to know that the main link was compromised, because see, when we are decoding the drives and when there are attacks on the main link, naturally we will come to know it's the same link, right? And this link, I haven't shared the credentials of this main link or the credentials interface page with anyone on the social media. That is something for the court only. So in spite of that, if those people could attack the main link, and that means this main link was handed over to the Nexus. So naturally, after that, so it is understood that they have switched sides. Whatever Sushant's team was left, they have changed sides. They joined the cabal, and you can find out by the kind of movies that came afterwards of Nawazuddin Siddiqui's and of the Tiger Shroffs, the kind of people they are associated with. Okay. And also, let me tell you that these are not entirely. I don't know about Tiger Shroff, but Nawazuddin Siddiqui and all, he was also harassed a lot, as mentioned by Sushant. If you remember, there was a case between him, his wife Alia Siddiqui, and their lawyer. That was the time that he was harassed for trying to help Sushant. When they came to it.
Okay.
So Nawazuddin Siddiqui was also harassed, and
yeah. So do you think they switched sides because of fear and because of threats?
yes,
Okay.
sir, absolutely.
Okay. So it was they probably got threatened. So I want to know one more thing. How did you get access to Sushant Singh's
In their
drive?
own words, they switched sides because they didn't want to end up like Sushant.
Okay. By that logic, then I imagine no one will come forward no big star may come forward in the future, because they may use Sushant's death as
That's why.
an example to
No, with
demotivate.
Sridevi's death only, they used it as an example, because right after Sridevi's death, I have come to know about this not from my investigation, but what from Sushant wrote. That a meeting was called upon by the Producers Guild of India. Which Sushant didn't attend, but everyone was attended, and everyone was issued gag orders to stay mum on Sridevi's death.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my.
So naturally, they issued a warning. Sushant still went ahead. He was also killed. So they have issued another warning. And in their own words, they say, we don't want to end up like Sushant.
Okay. So Sushant Singh was killed on a particular day, and just few days before that, Disha Salian was also killed. So what did Disha and Sushant discover that was so threatening to the Nexus that they had no choice but to kill these two people?
So I am not sure what happened exactly before or after the death. Maybe it is there in the coming slides. I haven't decoded all the slides. As I was telling, there are 7 hard drives and 1 pen drive, and around 750 GB of data. Okay, so even though I am decoding them since 2021, since August 2021, March 2021, we have only decoded, downloaded, and shared about 250 GB of data. So another 450 GB of data is still left. So we don't know what is going to come up in those. Right now, the present drive that I'm sharing, it has all some reports, some documents, some very sensitive reports, government reports, and all that. Okay, he is trying to say something. Okay, why and all. I know people don't have patience to go through the reports, this and that. But unfortunately, I know that the next drive has Sushant's own words again. But I cannot jump the drive. I cannot leave this drive and jump onto that just to keep the interest of the people ticking with his own words, because that's a challenge. Technically, that's a challenge. And he has written his work in such a way that you cannot skip it. You have to cover each, then only you can move to the next stage.
Okay.
Unless and until you cover, you cannot move on to the, it gets locked. If you're just skipping and trying to jump onto the next drive, it will get locked. You will not be able to.
Okay.
That's how he
Uh,
has documented it. Yeah.
Okay. So I was watching many of your videos, and one thing really I found very interesting, where you told Sushant wrote about Disha, not Disha Salian, but Disha, the veterinarian from Hyderabad, who,
Yes.
yeah,
That's yet to come. That's yet to
yeah,
come. It's
yeah.
in the next drive. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
when she was murdered, okay, the
Hmm.
entire and when she was raped and murdered, and when the rapist got apparently the rapist got encountered, the entire country was celebrating. In my head, I had this suspicion, like why are we celebrating this encounter? How do we know if those people were the actual rapists? Maybe the actual rapists were
Exactly.
are connected to some politician, someone with higher power. Who knows? Like, we should not be celebrating. And if I say this openly with my friends or whoever, they will say, hi, how can you not support encounter of rapists? How will you feel if your sister or if your mother got raped and all that? So we are kind of pressurized to support this encounter. We are conditioned to
No,
think
Pratham,
that
let me tell you.
encounters are good. Yeah.
I'm also one of those people who had supported and who was encouraging that encounter. I was also one of those people when it happened.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, but now, as Sushant has also mentioned in one of his drives, the truth is actually something else. Those four guys might be some
Else.
random people. The actual rapists, the actual murderers might be someone else, and there might be some real reason, some darker conspiracy behind her murder. So can you tell what Sushant had written about her?
Yes, Sushant has written that Disha, the veterinarian, okay, she was doing some studies about what was it? I have to take out. She was doing some studies which linked uh, the supplement industry. The supplement industries with some malpractices. I have to read that slide again. Okay, she was about to expose the studies that she was doing regarding the supplement industry and some illegal tests that were going on or something. The flu that happened, bird flu, the illegal tests that were happening on animals, and the supplements, the gym industry, the supplements, the animal testing. She had made those connections and she was about to bring it out. And what happened was that she was killed and she was burnt. And one of the people who was encountered, he was the witness to why she was killed. He knew why she was being killed.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
out of three random people, maybe rape might have really happened, or they might have made that happen so that in post-mortem and everything, it can be covered up. But what Sushant has written is that along with those three, one other person was killed was that who might have been a threat later on if he had exposed why she was really killed.
Okay. Okay. So
And
you have gone.
let me tell you, Pratamji, not only you were right, your suspense at that crime proved right. When after 2 years of that incident, Supreme Court came back saying that that was a bogus encounter. Whatever the grounds presented, that was very bogus. That shouldn't have happened. And the entire police force should be taken to task for this. But I don't know what happened after that. But this verdict did come out.
Yeah. So that is good news. So you have been decoding Sushantji's drive for a few years, and you must have seen some strange stories from there. Some truths come out. Like, of all the stories that you have seen from Sushant's drives, which do you think which haunts you the most? Can you give one example?
Which haunts me the most? Everything haunts because everything is very sensational, and we have Pramod Mahajan's death, which everyone thinks to have been done by his brother. We have now questions being raised on a lot of things. I mean, he has written so many exposures he has made from, he even predicted about the COVID-19, whatever. I had decoded it way back, the truths which are coming out right now about Bill Gates and all. He had mentioned it in drives then only, which I had decoded way back in 2021.
Okay.
All right. So because he had been to CERN, he had been to that place. He had collected some information from there as well. If you remember, he had been to NASA through the training and all that. He had been to CERN. He had been to the society where these people were, common contracts of these gates, and now which we know is global elites who want a new world order. Rothschild, Bill Gates, David Ferrer, and all those. These capitals were actually controlling the entire world economy, and through the world economy, they are controlling all the governments. These are the people. There is a group of capitalists. They are the people who actually want entire power for themselves, and they pull the strings. And any government which doesn't, listen to them, they either create riots in those countries to overthrow the government, or they create internal disturbances. Like now, for everything, everyone is saying that there is a toolkit gang and a Soros funded gang. But let's see. Now what is happening, since a part of this nexus has been exposed, other people are shifting the blame to that. But they are equally a part of the nexus only. They are equally a part of the nexus only. So this thing now coming up saying that Soros funded, Soros funded, Soros funded. Soros is not the only guy. Okay. Like Dawood Ibrahim was a face to take the blames for all the crimes, which had the involvement of the agencies and which had the involvement of a lot of government officials as well. Dawood Ibrahim was a name. We don't even know he's alive or not. As far as confirmed reports, which I got from internal defense, this thing, he was killed in 2018, 31st December, or 2019, 31st December, exact date, because on that day, the news came out in Pakistan, PTV. He was shot dead in Karachi when he was attending his cousin's wedding or something. But within minutes, that news was taken off air. Because Dawood Ibrahim is not the villain, he's a name. Because the fear should have a name. All the crimes should have a name. Right? Like the financial crimes have certain names, like Nirav Modi, Mehul Chokshi, Harshad Mehta. But any crime of that big a magnitude, a single person can't be the mastermind. If a financial crime is happening of thousands of crores, it has to have the involvement of the bank's highest management. It has to have the involvement of the officials of finance ministry. Without this, see, because I have if you have a normal family business, okay, even if you're in a family business for 20, 23 years, 25 years, showing profits, when we go to the bank for credit, cash credit, okay, they will ask you so many documents. They will verify if you have loans with other banks or not. They will verify if you have any other loans or not. Even for a cash credit of 50 lakhs, they will do so many documentations and checks. And here you people want us to believe that people are fleeing the country with thousands of crores of, they are taking loans and they are not able to pay off thousands of crores. So where are the checks that the banks use on common people, on ordinary people?
Okay.
So, so that's the thing. So what people should understand here is that it's not because of the incompetency of the agencies or the incompetency of the government people that the criminals, or it's not because the criminals are more advanced or more intelligent than these people that they are not being caught or the crimes are being increased. It's because of the complicity of the government people, officials, and everyone with these criminals. They are hand in hand. That's why the crimes never get solved. And if this has to change, then people who should come together to change this.
Okay.
Many attempts will be made to brainwash them, to divert them, to deviate them into other issues. But the main issue is this. The people around the countries who are holding powers in their hands, except for one or two leaders, most of them are there only for the power, not for the welfare of the people. And these people will not think twice to orchestrate a national tragedy or to commit a crime or to kill few individuals to regain that power. So it is for us, up to us to see, because we people work from morning to night, running from here to there, just middle class people and the urban people. We are the people who are running the country. We are the people who are paying taxes on everything. Not only income tax, even when we buy something, we are paying tax on that. Even when we eat something, we are buying tax on that. There is tax on literally everything. We want our kids to study, we are paying taxes on that as well. For hospital expenses, we are paying taxes on everything. Apart from the income tax, everything we are paying taxes on. Okay. And to pay those taxes, we are running from morning to night. Why? To pay taxes so that these taxes can be utilized. These taxes can be utilized for the welfare of the people. But unfortunately, what is happening is that we have put such people on top. Just imagine, Pratham, how many people sitting on the top? What are their educational qualifications? How many criminal cases are pending against them? It's a very serious issue. Okay, you mean to say that a person, an IAS officer, or an IPS officer, or someone in IFS or something, they study, they study like years and years, they pass competitive exams, they become top officers, and ultimately they have to listen to a bunch of illiterate people or people having criminal cases against them. So what? So this is how it will be. This is how.
Okay.
This is why the crime will never go down.
Okay. Okay, it's very unfortunate, and I'm glad to know that even Sushant had known about COVID-19 and this whole circus of pandemic, and then Bill Gates being involved with the vaccines and this whole agenda. And it's not just Sushant Singh's death, Sridevi's death. We've seen that there are suspicions about so many suicides, be it Jiah Khan's death or Divya Bharti's death or even Parveen Babi's murder. So, do you think that all of these murders are in one way or the other linked?
Yes, Sushant has brought out the link about all this. Jiah Khan's case and Parveen Babi's case and Divya Bharti. All these are mentioned in quite some detail in Sushant's case. This is where he started with. He didn't want to go about all the crimes in the society. He, belonging to Bollywood, he was surprised that why, when truth was something else in Jiah Khan's case, why is everyone protecting the criminal? It was obvious to everyone that she was killed. So everyone knew. And he was unable to understand, when everyone knew, why is no one raising a voice for her? He was like us, like common person. अरे कुछ गलत हो सबको पता है तो क्यों आवाज नहीं उठा रहा? That is when he started inquiring. At that point of time also he got threats from Suraj Pancholi and from Salman Khan. That was when he realized that money, some 5 crores went from Salman Khan's account to the CBI officer who was investigating the case to let go of Suraj Pancholi and all that. A lot in detail has been written. I don't want to say it just like that because there is some important piece of evidence which a person who is no more has written. Said I would rather read those rather than tell something like that only, because there is so much information that I might not remember correctly, but he has written in detail about why Divya Bharti was killed. Apparently Divya Bharti married Sajid Nadyat Wala only to get to know about the crimes. Okay.
Okay.
And he has written, if you go through the drives, I will right now, when we started decoding the drives, we also didn't know which drive comes first, which drives come second, because they were not numbered, firstly. And you cannot just open the drives to see what content is in that, because it's not in plain form. It has to be decoded, decrypted, broken, and then downloaded. He has used different platform, he has used different software, he has used a combination of different other softwares for this documentation. So it's a tough job. So still we don't know which drive comes next, or whichever is opening, we are just going by that. So we are having, and let me tell you, there are a lot of attempts every day from multiple masked locations from around the world, trying to attack the main link, trying to sabotage it. See, the only reason the CBI has not called me or called to validate the drives. See, if the drives were fake, the only thing that they have to do is call, validate, and say that they are fake. But they cannot even do that, because they know that technically and legally they cannot manipulate me, first of all. And technically also, there are certain ways in digital forensics, there are certain ways to establish it without doubt as to when that particular software was purchased, or to by whom it was used, when it was used, the timestamp, along with the timestamp. And the CBI, when the CBI officer, SI Anil Yadav, who called me after I submitted the application, called me and he spoke to me, I made it clear to them that I want the entire validation process, since there have been incidents in the past where CBI has never investigated the cases properly, where high-profile criminals were involved. I want safety of myself. I want safety of my drives. So kindly, when you give me an appointment to validate the drives, have your IT team ready. Because I cannot be carrying the drives to and fro with people watching me. I will be risking myself. I will be risking the drives. So when you give me the appointment, have your IT team ready. We'll carry out the validation process. It will hardly take 1 hour or 2 hours to validate it. And then you give the verdict officially as to whose it is. A lot of circus is going on national. So at that point of time, he told that I will contact my superiors and then I will let you know. After that, there is no word from them. It's been more than 2 years now.
Okay.
In the meantime, the IT cells who have been let out on the social media in the name of SSR various, why have they been let out on? Why is it happened? I will tell you, there is a reason for this as well. Because Sushant had made some 7 copies of the drives. Those people could recover all the 6 copies. 1 copy was still missing. And they were afraid that if that copy fell in someone's hand, if that copy of drives made its way to the social media, let us make it into a circus beforehand. So the initial warriors who took the center stage and some of them are still running the show, they are planted by those people. I won't take the names. I don't want to create controversy here. But yes, they have been planted to keep the people deviated, diverted, and to discredit anyone who comes with real proofs.
Okay. Okay. So they are using those people to confuse people even more, to distract them from the truth.
So that this movement doesn't grow so strong that they are forced to act.
Okay.
Let people keep fighting among themselves.
Okay. So, Deepti ji, you've been harassed, you've been attacked, you've been threatened, and these people are trying to confuse. So, finally, I want to ask you, practically, despite the entire system being against the truth, being against you, what do you hope to achieve?
Change in the system. If people awake, see, people are not realizing one thing, that it's the people who are running the government actually. Okay. See, more than the government needing the people, more than the people needing the government, it's the government which needs the people. See, I am a very basic person, Pratham. See, first of all, it is a matter of great shame that we call ourselves the most intelligent species of among all the living beings. But it is only us who require a government and police to keep us in order. But still we are fighting among ourselves. No other species of the living being fights among themselves. They don't need a police or a government to maintain. They have their basic things. They are not educated. They don't have brains, as we say they don't have brains, right? But they know what they need and they stick to that. It's only us who inspire. So now we have to realize ourselves. We have to make ourselves strong. It's the people. See, Sushant died because he wanted people to realize, to awaken, to realize their own power. See, if we become what you say, awakened, then this bunch of people who are sitting there controlling the entire world and the economics, they won't be able to do that. We are allowing those people, we are giving those power into their hands. The life has become difficult for everyone. See, I always keep saying this, this planet has enough to meet everyone's needs. Not only human beings, every living being that is there on this earth, this planet has enough to meet everyone's needs. But it doesn't have enough to meet even a single person's greed. And that is what is happening now. Because of greed of certain people who are sitting at the top, making policies and within themselves. Okay, you see now the wealth is concentrated like in just top 5% of the people, while rest of the people are dying. Someone in hunger, someone in malnutrition, somewhere the food grains are being wasted due to surplus, whereas at other places they are dying because of hunger. Okay, so the thing what I'm trying to say is that the society which is not this capitalist society that is there, okay, it is not meant for the welfare of everyone, nor is it meant for the sustainable life on this planet. Whatever disturbances we are seeing around these wars and this hurricanes, this drastic climate disasters and all right, these are the result of the greed of humans in the name of industrial revolution, this, that, and everything. What we need to do is a human being has to make himself strong from inside. And they have to realize that being rich doesn't mean that all your wants are met. All your wants can never be met. As long as your needs are met, everyone has the same needs. The basic needs are food, clothing, shelter, and sleep. But because of greed of few people, they have made the system in such a way that these basic needs are also not available to certain people, to most people. And they have kept the society divided. Middle class, upper middle class, lower class, labor class. So we are not concerned what happens with the lower class people, unless and until it happens to us. So जब तक एक movement एक साथ नहीं आएगा, तब तक तो change आएगा ही नहीं. And this is what they are carefully doing using the mainstream media. They are not allowing the people to know the real problems and come together against them. People are being kept confused. They're sometimes fighting, ये वहाँ, ये यहाँ, इसने राष्ट्रपति बोला, इसने राष्ट्रपति नहीं बोला, उसने वो हिंदू के नाम सर्तन से जुदा बोला, हम लोग भी उसका सर्तन से जुदा करेंगे. Actually, see, I don't go into this religion stuff and all that, but what Hinduism teaches, if anyone actually learns Hinduism, they will respect nature, because Hinduism is the only religion where, not only, but one of those rare religions where every aspect of the nature is worshipped as a god. Okay. So if anyone understands the essence of Hinduism, then they will start living in coexistence with others and the nature. The true principles. It is not like usko mara, isko mara, isne mara. The people who are fighting in the name of religion, we will not let them live, Dhwaj and all that. They might themselves have not read Hindu scriptures ever. They are the players who have been let out, and they are the ones who are being given mileage on the mainstream media, because they are out there to provoke you. They are not out there to bring a solution to any situation. They are out there to provoke you and make the atmosphere so volatile. इतना volatile करेंगे कि एक बाजिश के दंगे हो जाएंगे. अभी सिचुएशन ऐसा ही है. तो इन दंगों में और ये युद्ध में फायदा किसका होता है? गवर्नमेंट्स का होता है. When two countries are at war, when people within a country are killing each other in the name of religion, who is enjoying? The people in power, the people who in the government. उनका फायदा है, because the attention जिन चीजों में वो पकड़े जाते, जैसे for example, I will not take name, but without taking name, I will tell you one thing which most people don't know. There was this one channel, mainstream media channel, the only channel which kept raging about Sridevi ji, which kept raging about Sushant ji, Sushant also to some extent. So everyone thought that that channel was the epitome of truth. That channel's editor was also put in jail. But what actually happened, what was shown in the media, are two different things. That channel's editor would have gone to jail as it is because he was responsible for the death of one family which committed suicide because of him not paying their dues. Okay, so that case was almost coming to closure, and this channel's editor was on the verge of getting arrested. But he played politics, and what he did, he started taking one political side and started defaming one police commissioner who is equally part of the nexus as well, about whom Sushant has also written in his diaries that he is one of the reasons many criminals go scot-free. So that commissioner, he was dismissed, suspended from his job, but no action was taken, and now he has been reinstated back again. So all the drama happened, that he got arrested because he was trying to talk for Sushant and raising questions on the ruling government and blah blah blah. What happened to them now? That officer is reinstated. इसको कुछ नहीं हुआ, सभी लोग आराम से हैं, ना वाजे को कुछ हुआ, ना अंबानी का कोई थ्रेट है, कुछ नहीं. So now, if now sit back. Now we have about 3 years of this continuous fight for justice, right? Just sit down. When it started, when some members came into it, in इस बीच में क्या क्या न्यूज़ उठे थे, अभी उस न्यूज़ का पोजीशन क्या है, then you will understand. The news उठे थे, the news were created so that attention is deviated from these matters and something other. But ultimately, there ended up being nothing because they were orchestrated, they were created, they were not real developments.
Okay. So, going back to my question, sorry, to go back to that question. So, you have put a lot of effort. What do you think is the best case scenario with this whole thing? Do you think people awakening is a different thing? Like, I hope people awaken, but with regards to the case, with regards to the progress in the courts, what do you think is the best case scenario that can happen to you?
You are asking to me?
Yeah. With the amount of effort that you put with the Sridevi's case, like, what do you think is the best outcome?
See, I have done my job. I came across certain truths which I felt that the people of the India should know, and I have put them in front of the people, and I have successfully managed to keep sharing them till now without the pressures or whatever obstacles are being raised or may get onto me. I don't know how far I can continue with it. Okay. I really don't know, actually. I too am looking to come out of this stalemate because I'm not able to concentrate on my other jobs. I'm not able to meet the people whom I want to meet freely just for the fear that I might expose my close associations and they might be used to put pressure on me. So I am cornered. So I also don't know. I am also looking for a solution.
Okay.
How it will turn out, what will happen, I don't know.
Okay. So to the audience members, I just want to say, please check out Deepti Pinniti's videos on YouTube, on her channel, and also on Candid Meena's YouTube channel. You can follow her on Twitter. All the links are in the description. Deepti ji, thanks a lot for coming on the Labyrinth. This was a very insightful conversation.
Thank you, Pratham ji. I just, I didn't know about Labyrinth, actually. I had heard about it because someone had told me about Johan Tingra ji, and I had read about this. But I was always skeptical. Are they real or are they planted? Because yes, through this channel, I want to tell the people as well. this nexus. Where our thought ends, their thinking begins there. The kind of conspiracies. So they have this concept of paid critic. And this concept was explained to me by one of the Nexus members only. I will not take the name. Paid critic, wherein they show differences between each other in front of the people. To everyone concerned, to the whole world, there are differences between these people. So what happens is that if someone is against the other person, they will come around to this person. If someone against this person, they will come around to that person. So both the opposite poles and parties are created by the nexus itself. This is one of the ways they use to fool people. So be wary of that as well. And always judge people by their actions. Just by their actions. Not by their words, big talks or something. What they are doing actually. Are their words matching with their actions? Because if you people are confused and if some people are coming and saying that we have been fighting for Sushant since so, and we are saying that she is fake and she is that, then you just one question that people need to ask is that, but why are you calling them fake without checking the credentials page? Why are you calling them fake when she is not saying anything which you yourself are saying that Sushant is killed? She is only fortifying that with her proofs. And why are you not insisting that CBI validate the graves and declare them fake if they are fake, rather than making hours and hours of videos trying to brainwash people into not believing it? So ये लोगों को खुद अंदर जागरूक होना है, खुद अंदर से मजबूत होना है. अब जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम हमारा है, everything is so designed wherein you are awarded for following the orders given to you. You are not encouraged to use your brain. Every human being, like देखिए एक tiger, does a tiger go to school? No. But when it faces indigestion, वो खुद अपने आप से जाके घास खाता है. When it faces indigestion, it knows which grass to go and it goes in search of the grass and it chooses that grass. Because God has blessed every living being. If life is born on this earth, God has given them an inborn intuition to know what they need and what they want. ये जो अंदर का आवाज है इंसान का, वो बाहर के आवाज से दब चुका है. There is so much noise, so much propaganda, so much show in this world that the human being is not able to listen to his inner voice. And that's the reason he can be so confused and he can be manipulated and confused so easily. That's the reason he can be brainwashed so easily. Do not let the outer voices drown the inner voice inside you. Your inner voice knows the best, what is best. That is the intuition that you are born with. But you are gradually led into believing that the outer voices are more, you should give value to the outer voices more than what your inner voice tells you. And even this vaccination and all those things. Earlier I was made fun of in 2021 when I said that I haven't taken vaccination because I don't see how can it be called a vaccination, because vaccination के rules में clearly लिखा होता है the last phase after clearing all the trials is the human trials phase, and it itself should be of a minimum duration of 2 years, so that कि पता चले कि immunity रहता है कि नहीं. You are calling it a vaccine in the same year that the disease was discovered. And then you are saying, take this booster shot, another booster shot, another booster shot. What sort of vaccine is that? So when I came and told this, that I don't believe in this, I was labeled toolkit guy.
Anti-vaxxer, conspiracy theorist, goes away.
Blah, blah, and all that. Okay, but I was talking science. When the vaccination guidelines prescribes that 2 years, minimum 2 years for human trials. Natural, right? If you want to know for how long can it give immunity, there has to be a period for which it has to be studied. Without studying anything, you gave it a label of vaccination. Everyone also started believing. And this happens because a person is not. आप जो हो ना, a human being doesn't think.
Yeah. Even I have not taken it, and even people make fun of these people don't get jobs if they don't take this, because now certificate is become
I feel,
mandatory in
no,
many
I faced
places.
a lot of problem. No, see, I as if a citizen is aware of their laws, no one can take you for granted. Because I was also harassed. I went. It was during that time only that I was traveling to CBI office during the lockdown time only. So I was stopped at airports. I was stopped at Goa airport. I was stopped at Mumbai airport. Saying, no, you don't have the vaccination certificate. You have to come and sit. You don't have the Arogya Setu app. You have to first download the app, then only will allow you to go at this. But again, the Arogya Setu app also, its source code had a lot of problems. It was not open source code nahi kiye the pehle when it was developed. And there were some problems initially that even after uninstalling the app, initial version of the app, the location of the phone could be traced. These common people will not know. I, being from an IT team, I knew that. And those who were working in the IT field, they knew that. So they raised their objections saying that how can you not make it open source, the code. After that, they made some changes and whatever. But I didn't install that thing. I said I will write whatever I have to write. I'll give it manual and written, but I am not going to. You cannot force me. This is against the constitution. But not everyone knows. कोई अगर जोर से बोल दिया, ठीक है, अगर नहीं जानते हैं तो आप बेवकूफ बनोगे. इसीलिए every human being has to first be aware of their rights and laws as a citizen first. If you're not aware, you will be taken for granted. And basically, and whatever instruments that you're using in daily life, smartphone, this, that, you should at least know how to take care of its safety and safety of your information. These are the basic things that you should learn before even using some things.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
you're not
Yeah, so
Yes,
even even I have not taken it, and people were, like you said, you will get harassed and all that. But now I see, more slightly people are waking up, and when they see all these big celebrities getting heart attacks right after taking the second dose or the booster dose, now people are becoming slightly more jagrat. I feel, but I think maybe it's too little, too late. I want to once again thank you, because I used to think that I am one of the few people who think this way, but now you are there. Sushant Singh Rajput is there. There are many people who also have this kind of mentality that हाँ हमें भी प्रश्न करना चाहिए.
करना चाहिए हमको. It's our lives. See, we cannot simply put our lives into the hands of other people. It's our lives. We have the right to question whatever affects our lives. हमारा right है ये. अगर and it is us who has to see, and the work that you are doing, Pratham, and Johanji is doing, and everything is doing. Please don't ever think that it is not fetching results. It's like that seed. आपने seed डाल दिया है. Whenever a tree goes, it grows in silence only. It's only when it falls that it makes a sound. So the seed of awakening or awareness जो आपने बोया है, it's growing slowly. Maybe the pace is not that we would like to, because mainstream media is not with us. अगर mainstream media का एक भी channel हमारे साथ होता ना, तो this would have spread like wildfire. That is why the mainstream media is not with us. But that doesn't mean that whatever you are doing in your own scale on social media, it's not fetching risk. People are becoming aware. There are people who are intelligent, who are educated, who think. So they are becoming aware. So धीरे धीरे ये awareness बढ़ रहा है. So
All right.
that's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That concludes this podcast. Thank you once again, ma'am, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Pratham. Thank you for calling me. And yes, please keep up your good work. We need voices like yours in this world of lawyers, because आजकल के जमाने में सच बोलना is considered an act of rebellion. So let's be rebels. If the times are evil, then let's be rebels to bring about the change for the good.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Take care. Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay.